በቃ በቪዲዮ በዛው እንትን ልበላችሁ ምንም ትርጉም የለም። በቪዲዮ እኮ እሰራለሁ ነው ወደ ቀለሉ ምን አደርጋለሁ?
ምናልባት ደግሰው ልጠይቀው
ዝም ብዬ የማቀርበው ካለ ላቀርብ ምንም ችግር የለውም። ዝም ብዬ ይሄንን ያዘጋጁትን ዝም ብዬ ልሄደዋ ከዛ ይለቃቅላቸው እንጂ ይቻላል። እሺ እንትን አስጀምርልኝ እንሶልና ምናምን Good morning, students. Today we'll try to see review questions from chapter 5, integration and its applications. Now the first question will be, find the area of the region enclosed by the graph of f of x equals x plus 3 and the x-axis on the closed interval 1,5. Now, as you know, area is given by the formula integral from a to b of the absolute value of f of x dx. Now, a and b are 1 and 5, so integral from 1 to 5 of the absolute value of x plus 3 dx. Now, if you take any x that is between 1 and 5, x plus 5 will be positive, and the absolute value of x plus 3 will be x plus 3 itself. So I'll have integral from 1 to 5 of x plus 3 dx. And as you know, the integral of this is half x squared plus 3x. Then after, it will be a matter of evaluating this expression between 1 and 5. So I'll have half of 5 square minus 1 square plus 3 times 5 minus 1. This is 24. Half of 24 is 12 plus this is 4. 3 times 4 is 12. So I'll have 24. Therefore, the area of the region that is enclosed by the graph of this function f of x equals x plus 3 and the x-axis on this closed interval 1,5 will be 24 square units. Next, question number 2. Find the area of the region enclosed by the graph of f of x equals x squared minus 9 and the x-axis. Here, closed interval is not given. Now, if you look at our function, x squared minus 9 is a parabola of this type, where its vertex turning point is at 9 and its x-intercepts are at negative square root 3 and square root 3. Therefore, the area will be the integral from a to b of the absolute value of f of x dx. In our case, a and b are negative square root 3 and square root 3. So, integral from negative square root 3 to what? Square root 3 of the absolute value of x squared, that is x squared minus 9 dx. If you take any number, between negative square root 3 and square root 3, you will find x square minus 1 as a negative value. Therefore, its absolute value will be the negative of x square minus 9. And the negative of x square minus 9 will be what? 9 minus x square dx. So now let's take the integral of this. 9x minus the integral of x square is 1 over 3 x cubed. Then after, it is a matter of evaluating this between negative root 3 and square root 3. So 9 into the square root 3 minus negative square root 3. It becomes what? 2 times square root 3 minus 1 over 3. Root 3 cube is, okay, simply root 3 cubed minus negative root 3 cube. Okay, this is 18 square root 3 minus 1 over 3, 1 over 3. Root 3 cube is 3 square root 3, 3 square root 3 minus negative 3 square root 3. It becomes 3 positive 3 square root of what? 3. So you'll get what? 18 square root 3 minus 1/3 of 6 square root 3. 18 square root 3, 18 square root 3 minus 1/3 of 6 square root 3 is what? It is simply 2 square root 3. And the answer will be 16 square root 3. So the answer is 16 square root 3 units square. Question number 3. Question number 3. Find the volume of the region generated by revolving the region enclosed by the graph of f of x equals x minus 1 and the x-axis on the interval 1,4 about the x-axis. As you remember, volume of revolution about the x-axis is given by the formula pi times the integral from a to b of f of x square dx. So our a and b are 1 and 4, integral from 1 to 4 of f of x square, that is x minus 1 square dx. Here you have two possibilities. One is expanding x minus 1, the whole square, and the other one is making use of what you call integration by substitution. Okay. For example, if I substitute x minus 1 by u, then du becomes what? Dx. So pi times, when x is 1, u becomes what? 0. U becomes 0. When x is 4, 4 minus 1 is what? 3. So the limits of integration will be converted to 0 to 3. X minus 1, according to our substitution, is u, so you'll have u cube, and dx is du. Now, as you know, the integral of u cube is 1 over 4 u power 4. Then it is a matter of evaluating this from 0 to 3. At 0, it is already 0. Therefore, let us substitute 3. 3 the power of 4 is what? 81. So 81 over 4 pi. 81 over 4 pi. Question number 4. Find the volume of the region generated by revolving the region enclosed by the graph of f of x equals, the graph of f of x equals x plus 3 and the y-axis on the interval -2, 3 about the y-axis. Now here it is volume of revolution about the y-axis, and we know that its formula is pi integral from a to b of f of y square dx. That means we should express x in terms of y. we have given f of x or y equals x plus 3. Here, our integrand should not be x plus 3. Rather, first, I have to express x in terms of y. So I'll have what? Y minus 3. That is our f of y. So pi times integral from a to b, negative 2 to what? 3. These are points not on the x-axis, rather on the y-axis. Our f of y is y minus 3, the whole square, then dy, not dx, dy. Now, let us use integration by substitution. Let u represent y minus 3. From this, du will be what? dy. So pi times when y is negative 2, u becomes what? Negative 5. When y is 3, 3 minus 3 is what? 0. So the lower limit of integration will be negative 5 and the upper limit of integration will be 0. Don't forget to convert the lower limit and upper limit of integration to the corresponding lower limit and upper limit of integration that corresponds to the second variable, that is u. So this is u square. Dy is the same as what? It is du. So in place of dy, I have what? Du. Pi times the integral of u square is 1 over 3 u cube. 1 over 3 u cube. So evaluate this from negative 5 to 0. That is 1 over 3 pi. 0 cube is 0 minus negative 5 cube is negative 125. Negative of negative is positive. So 125 over 3 pi cubic units. Question number 5. I think it is the application of the fundamental theorem of calculus 1. As you remember, the fundamental theorem of calculus 1 says that if, for example, capital F of x is the integral from a to x of another function, f of t dt, then it says the derivative of f at x will be the same as f of x. It will be equal to what? F of x. Now let us make use of this fundamental theorem of calculus 1 so as to find the derivative of this function g. Now, according to this fundamental theorem of calculus 1, the derivative of g at x is, it is a matter of substituting 3x squared, this upper limit of integration, in place of what? T, in the integrand. So you'll have what? 3x squared cosine of what? In terms of t, I have what? 3x squared. What remains? Using chain rule, I have to multiply this by the derivative of 3x squared. Chain rule. The derivative of 3x squared. So 3x squared cosine of 3x squared times the derivative of 3x squared is what? 6x. So let us multiply this coefficient by 6x. So you'll have 18x cubed cosine of what? 3x squared. So this is the derivative of our function. Now let me give you another example on this application of the fundamental theorem of calculus 1. For example, let f of x is, for example, the integral from 3 to 5x minus 1 of t minus 1 over t plus 1 dt. Find the derivative of this function. Now to find the derivative of this function, I replace t by what? 5x minus 1. So t minus 1 becomes 5x minus 1 and then minus 1 over t is 5x minus 1, 5x minus 1, then what? Plus 1. Then I multiply this by the derivative of 5x, the derivative of 5x minus 1. Okay? So 5x minus 1 is 5x minus 2 over 5x minus 1 plus 1 is 5x. I multiply this by the derivative of 5x minus 1, that is 5. I cancel 5 by 5, so you'll have what? 5x minus 2 over what? Over x. This is the derivative of our function. Next, question number 6. Average value of a function. If you have given any function f that is continuous on a closed interval a comma b, the average value of f average, is given by the formula 1 over b minus a, the integral from a to b of f of x dx. This gives us the average value of a given function, a continuous function on a given closed interval a comma b. Now, let us say our function. F average will be the integral 1 over b minus a, 4 minus 1, the integral from 1 to what? From 1 to 4 of our f of x is what? X squared minus 5x plus 1, then dx. Okay? 1 over 3. What is the integral of this thing? X squared minus 5x plus 1, which is 1 over 3, x cubed minus 5 over 2, x plus x. Evaluate this from 1 to what? From 1 to 4. Now let me multiply everything by 1 over 3, so that we'll have what? 1 over 9 x cubed minus 5 over 6. This is x squared plus 1 over 3 x. Evaluate this from 1 to what? 9. 1 over 9 from 1 to 4, not 9, from 1 to 4. Now 4 cube minus 1 cube, 64 minus 1, that is 63, minus 5 over 6, 4 square minus 1 square, 16 minus 1, that is 15, plus 1/3 of 4 minus 1, which is 3. 63 by 9 is what? 7 minus by 3, 2 by 3, 5, 25 over what? 25 over by 3 it is 2, by 3 it is 5, 25 over 2 plus 1/3 of 3 is what? 1. 1 plus 7 is 8 minus 12.5, and you will give it negative, you have negative 4.5. So this is the average value of the function f of x equals x squared minus 5x plus 1 over the closed interval 1, 4. Question number 7. Assume that a particle moves with an acceleration of a acceleration as a function of time. It is not uniformly accelerated motion because the acceleration is not a constant, rather it depends on time. So it is not an example of what? Uniformly accelerated motion. So acceleration is 2t plus the square root of t. This is the acceleration. And we have given initial velocity 10 meters per second. Now the question is to find its velocity at t equals 9 seconds. That means calculate the instantaneous velocity of this function, I mean this particle at time t equals 9 seconds. So first let us try to find the velocity function. As you know, velocity is the integral of the acceleration, okay? So velocity equals a of t dt. What is a of t? 2t plus the square root of t, or you can write it as t to the power of 1 over 2 dt. Now, what is the integral of 2t? T squared the integral of t the power of 1 over 2 plus 1 t the power of 3 over 2 times what? The reciprocal. 2 over 3 plus the velocity when time t equals 0. And that is given to be what? 10 plus 10. So this is the formula for instantaneous velocity of that moving particle at any particular time t. Now, what we are asked is to find its velocity at time t equals what? 9 seconds. Therefore, it is a matter of replacing 9 in place of what? T. So, 9 square plus 2/3 of 9 is the power of 3 over 2 plus 10. 9 square is 81. 2/3 of 9 is the power of 1 over 2 is 3. 3 cube is what? 27 plus 10. Okay, 81 plus 10 is 91 plus by 3, 1 by 3, 9. 9 times 2 or 2 times 9 is 18. And the sum will be 109. Therefore, this is the velocity, or more specifically, the instantaneous velocity of this moving particle at time t, at the moment. Time t equals what? 9 seconds. And what is the unit? Of course, meter per second. Question number 8. We have given a function f of x that is bounded below and above by 5 and 7. 5 is less than or equal to f of x is less than or equal to 7 for any x between -3 and 4. Now the question is, what are the minimum and the maximum value of this integral? Meeting ኤማን
አቤት ሰር
ይሰማል?
ይሰማል።
ምንድን ነው ያልተላከም እንዴ እንትኑ የሚቲንጉ ኮድ?
የ12 ላይ አይደለም የተላከው፣ የ9 ላይ ነው የተላከው።
የ9? የ9ኞች ነው የተላከው? እንዴት ታገኝሹት?
እኔ 9ኛ ክፍል ወንድም አለኝ። በአጋጣሚ ነው የማገኘሁት እንጂ የ12 ላይ እንትን የለም ሰር፣ አልተላከም።
ስለዚህ ስህተት ተፈጥሯል ማለት ነው። ኦኬ፣ ነገሩን የምጨርሻለሁ፣ ግን ምንም ማድረግ አይቻልም። ካሁን በኋላ ራሱ ሰዓቱ አልፏል። ሚቲንግ አይዲ ተልኮ ካሁን በኋላ የሚሆን አይመስለኝም።
ቆየ።
ሁለት ጥያቄዎች ቀርቷል፣ ልጨርሳቸው አይደል? Now we have given a function f of x that is between 5 and 7 for every x on the closed interval -3, 4. The question is find the minimum and the maximum value of this integral. Okay, what we have given is 5 is less than or equal to f of x and f of x is less than or equal to what? 7. Now let us multiply my function by -2. I mean, everything by negative 2. By negative 2, it is negative 10. Less than or equal to will be what? Greater than or equal to negative 2 f of x, and greater than or equal to negative 40. Or we can write it as negative 14 is less than or equal to negative 2 f of x, and that is less than or equal to what? Negative 10. Now let me add 3. Plus 3 is negative 11. Plus 3 is this one. Plus 3 is what? Negative 7. Now let's take integral of each side from negative 3 to what? To 4. Therefore, the integral from negative 3 to 4 of negative 11 dx will be less than or equal to the integral from negative 3 to 4 of this thing to f of x plus 3 dx, and that will be less than or equal to the integral from negative 3 to 4 of negative 7 dx. What is the integral of negative 11? Negative 11 x evaluated from negative 3 to 4 is less than or equal to this integral from negative 3 to 4 of 2 times f of x plus 3 dx, and that is less than or equal to the integral of negative 7 dx is negative 7x evaluated from negative 3 to what? To 4. So this is negative 11. 4 minus negative 3. It becomes what? 4 plus 3. Less than or equal to this integral, and this is less than or equal to negative 7. 4 minus negative 3. That is what? 4 plus 3. This is 7 times negative 11 is negative 77 is less than or equal to this integral, and this is less than or equal to not 7. Yeah, good. What is negative 7 times 7? It is negative 49. Therefore, this integral has negative 77 as its minimum value and negative 49 as its what? Maximum value. Its value is something between these two numbers. So minimum value is negative 77, maximum value is negative 49. Question number 9, we have given the integral from 1 to 9 of f of x dx to be equal to 6. The question is find the integral from negative 1 to 3 of f of 2x plus 3 dx. The question is to find negative 1 from negative 1 to 3 of f of 2x plus 3 dx. Now, let us apply integration by substitution. If I let u to represent 2x plus 3, what will be du? It will be dx, or if you like, dx is half of what? Du. Now, this integral will be equal to, when x is negative 1, when x is negative 1, what will be u? Negative 2 plus 3, 1. When x is 3, 2 times 3 is 6, 6 plus 3 is what? 9. So it becomes integral from 1 to 9 of f of 2x plus 3 is what? U. And what is dx? It is half du. If I take this constant out of the integral, we'll have 1 over 2 integral from 1 to 9 of f of u du. But what can you say about this integral? Eman, what is this integral? Integral from 1 to 9 of f of u du. Except what? Yeah, variable. So, good. Half of 6. That is what? 3. And the last one, calculates this integral from pi over 6 to pi over 2 of cosine of square root 6 over square root, cosine of square root x over the square root x dx. Now, substitution. Let u equals what? The square root x. what will be du? 1 over 2 root x dx, or multiplying by 2 du will be 1 over square root x dx. Okay, now this integral will be equal to the integral when x is pi over 6. When x is pi over 6, what will be u? It is the square root of what? Pi over 6. When x is pi over 2, we'll have square root of pi over 2. Cosine of what? U? Yes?
Yes, over u.
What is 1 over square root x dx? 1 over square root x dx. It is 2 du. Yes? Because I can write this as cosine of square root x times what? 1 over square root x dx. 1 over square root x dx is what? 2 du. So let's take 2 out. Then we'll have what? The integral from square root of pi over 6 to the square root of what? Pi over 2 cos u du. And what is the integral of cos u? Yes, sin u evaluated from the square root of pi over 6 to what? Square root of pi over 2. So if you substitute this, we'll have sine of square root of pi over 2 minus sine of square root of pi over 6. This is the answer. እዚህ ላይ በስተት ነው አንድ የተደረገ okay, because it is not sine of pi over 2, rather it is sine of square root of what? Pi over 2. So it is not 1, and this is not 6. It is not sine of pi over 6, rather it is sine of what? Square root of pi over 6. So it is not 1 over 2. Okay, so we write simply as it is. 2 in bracket sine of square root of pi over 2 minus sine of square root of pi over 6. Emma, do you have any question? Anything that is not clear?
I give to you.
It's no?
Oh.
Good. Back. Charles, thank you.
አመሰግናለሁ።
Yes.